we are good now. So today is the 9th. So our new Paint a Flower went live on the 7th. So we don't have a live on a Saturday. So it's Monday and today is the day for our live session of the new Paint a Flower Poppy. The lovely Kathleen will be behind the Alter New badge. And I'm just checking to make sure that we are in fact live. Okay. So, yep. I can see myself there, which is, you know, not great, but still, it's good that we are there. So the lovely Kathleen will be behind the badge and we are going to take a look. So I'm just going to move you guys down now so you can, in fact, see the beautiful set. Okay. Oops. Wrong one. There we go. So, here we go. Here is the new set, the Paint a Flower Poppy. And as you can see, that we're going to get all of these dies here. And we do have the layering guide on the back, on the bottom even. So you can see just how these go together. So these are what we're going to be using today. And I'm going to add a little bit of dimension to them too. So I'm just going to take this out of the packet. Oh, sometimes it does like to stick in there because, you know, we don't want the dies moving around. Here's a card that I did create using them. So I'm going to create something like this, but we are going to add a little bit more dimension into them too. So I have my beautiful red Cosmos gradient cardstock set. So we've got all the different colours in here, and we do have the little guide here which helps you with the colours that you need to cut from each one. So hi there everyone, I hope that you're all good and that you've had a good weekend as well. So just checking the comments out there, and I've got my little set and I'm going to be using my mini blossom. I love the fact that all of these dies are in fact going to fit through my mini blossom. I'm just going to poke it in there. So on this one you can see the guide tells you how to do it, but I want this to be a little bit redder, so I'm gonna kind of mix them up a little bit and make it more poppy like, because we did have Remembrance Sunday yesterday. So this is what we're gonna go with. So instead of using the pink, I'm going to drop out that lightest pink, and I'm going to go with the coral berry, the ruby red, and also that grapevine there. So that's going to give me a really dark poppy. Okay, so I'm going to need my plates too. And I'm going to go with kind of what is suggested on here. So my base layers are going to be the lightest colour. That's a base layer. That's a base layer. And we also have another base layer here. But I think I'm going to take that up and... No, I'm going to do it out there. So we've got another 2 base layers that we're going to need. I'm just arguing with myself. I shouldn't be, you know. I'm going to go with the coral berry for that. So I'm going to be doing 2 flowers, the larger one and the smaller, all in one go on my little plate here. If we do need a little bit of extra pressure, I will pop my metal plate on, but I'm hoping that these ones, because they're not that detailed, are going to go through just fine. If you do want me to move my camera up or anything, let me know. And the lovely Kathleen will let me know as well. So, cut my first layers. I'm just going to move those over to the side. And just see how well they have cut and popped out of that. That's one of my favourite coloured cardstocks as well. So I'm going to take the second layers. So we have the second layer for the whole flower. I think I've got the right one. So this one, yep, and this one. And then we're also going to need these two pieces too. So it kind of looks like antlers. And the other bit is a bit more of a single antler. That red looks so vibrant on screen. Hello there everyone, and thank you so much for joining us and for sharing as well. So, yeah, I'm always arguing with myself. If you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. Now this one was really quite delicate, so I was wondering if it was going to go through, and it seems to have gone through just fine. So I'm happy with that. This one maybe needs to go through again. But all you need to do is kind of just put the die on and wiggle it around, and then it'll kind of lock into place. Just going to pop my plate on at this time. And when I use my metal plate, I kind of move it, you know, back a little bit so all the plates can go through. If you try and put it through all lined up on that edge there, it's not going to go through, because it kind of needs like a wedge, like the thin side of a wedge, just to get in there, and then it's good to go. So there is my piece there. Oops. And then we have just one of the darker layers for this one. I'll use my plate just in case. It may not be needed, but you know. And I'm going to cut my leaves out of some green cardstock. Just checking the comments. Sorry everyone. Need to make sure I'm not missing things. Oh, Teresa, lucky you in Mexico. Okay, lift the camera a little bit. Hopefully we are good there. That seems a little better. Although, mini blossom, there we go. And for the leaves, we have 3 different leaves, and I'm just going to cut 3. I'm going to go with some dark leaves because we've kind of missed out the light colour, so let's miss it out again. And we'll go with the face of these leaves. We are going to be adding some details, a little bit more detail onto these before we, I'm not sure if before we stick them together. See, I'm doubting myself again. I seem to have hairs everywhere. And that's the dark colour, which is the hunter green. And we're also going to need some center pieces. Oops. These ones may need that plate in because they are quite detailed small pieces. Is there anyone, apart from the lovely Teresa, doing anything exciting? Oh, 75 degrees in New Jersey. That sounds lovely. Really, really nice. I'm not sure how it works out over here, but I know it's got to be more than what kind of temperature we've got. Okay, so I've got all my green pieces, and then I wanted my, like an orangey color. So this is from the, oops, Summer Afternoon, and this is the caramel toffee. Okay, again, super small pieces, so I'm going to pop my little plate on. Okay, so I have, unless I wanted to put the stems on, I have all of my pieces cut, where I'm just going to go for a little floral cluster rather than the stems, but you can definitely use the stems if you wanted to. Okay, so we have all of our little pieces here, and I'm just trying to find my glue pen. And I also have my glue tape. So depending on how big the piece is dependent on what I will be doing with them. So I'm going to just grab my base layers for my flowers. And then we have these two pieces. Oops. As these are quite large, I'm not going to use my detail pen. I'm just going to use my glue tape. This is my favorite glue tape of all time. You do have the layering guide, but I do find that once you have popped these together a couple of times, I don't think that you're going to need them. I mean, it's always handy to have, especially if you go away for it for a little time and then kind of forget. You can see that parts of the images do line up perfectly. Okay, so I have my two pieces there, and then I have my other. Now these probably need a bit of glue pen on them, but my tape's working just fine. Put that down, and that one goes onto this one, although you could always mix and match them. You don't necessarily have to stick them where we say. Draw a little world, create it as you wish. So there's my other piece. And then we have a darker piece for this one. Now I did get some of my glue pen where I don't want it. So that's just here. So all I'm going to do is just going to take an eraser, and that's just going to kind of buff off. There we go. So I wanted to add some detail to these. So I have my watercolor pencils. Now they don't need to be used as watercolors. You can definitely have a play around with these. Now I just want a really dark red. I think that Rubelite may be my darkest that I have. Ruby red might work. And I also have a brown. Let's play. These pencils are really heavy, so there's a lot of pigment in them. Oops. He wants me to move down a little bit. Okay. Right. Hopefully I've got a happy medium, because people want me to move up and other people want me to move down. So hopefully we're good. So once I have this on, I'm going to see that I'm going to need kind of more strokes in there. I may need to use the brown. This one isn't the best colour match. Aha, there we go. This one's better. So this one is the red. Oops. Ruby red. I'm just kind of holding one of the pieces in place, just to give me that. But now that I've got that, I can kind of work on this petal. So it's kind of like what I would do if I was just colouring over, so I'm just adding some strokes in. I like to kind of buff it out with my finger and it'll give you a softer look that way. Okay, so it kind of looks a bit messy at the minute, but I think we'll be okay. And then I want to add some more detail to this one, kind of following the curvature that we have already there. I want this a bit darker, so I'm just going to use that brown because it's kind of a browny red. So I'm just adding that shadow in. Okay. Hopefully I didn't go off camera there. I maybe did. Sorry everyone. The other one I will keep in camera. Okay, and then same for this one. So I'm going to use that ruby red. I'm going to pop this into where I think it's going to go. It's right about there. So we're just making the idea of the petals curling. And you're going to kind of want to do a curve when you do your little flicks. It's satisfying, that little noise that you get. Okay, and then on this one, oops, I've lost it. There we go. And a little bit more shadow just at this bottom piece here. Okay, so I can pop them on now. And this one. So it's just kind of adding a little bit more depth just with the pencils. And we have these centerpieces. I want to add a little bit of detail to those too. So I want an orangey color. I have the orange cream. So I'm just going to add some little dots in there. Maybe some of that brown too. It's got a sharper end, so it's going to give me some smaller dots that way. This larger one kind of snuggled in somewhere. Okay, goes on this one. No? There we go. I think I should have moved that over a little bit more. There we go. And this one's just gonna snuggle in. Okay. So we have our two flowers and then our leaves. Make sure that they're the right way. I have a Shadow Creek. So I'm kind of imagining a center line. And then going from that. Remember, we do have the other layer to put on this one as well. My flicks going that way are never as good as going the other way. I need to practice. Again, you do have the layering guide, so to help you pop the right ones on. this one together a couple of times now, so kind of know where things go. Okay. Okay, I have this little piece here of watercolor cardstock. It might be a good idea if I use these crayons, well, the woodless watercolors that we've just used, to maybe create a little bit of a background. So I'm just scribbling the colours down. I can cut this down to make a panel. I don't have any water apart from this spray bottle, so I'm just going to spray that down. And grab myself a brush. Okay, check the comments a little second. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is the crafter flower, not the painter flower. Sorry, everyone. So I'm just going to add some water down. And even though they don't look as vibrant, when you put the water on, they really do pop. Okay. Okay, so that's a cute little color combination that we have going on. Quickly dried that off. I need to trim this down to a size that works, maybe 3. A little bit more off that side. I don't really want to get rid of any of the height. Okay. Very fall kind of color combo that we have there. Yeah, okay, that's okay. Kind of fits in. Pop it in with some glue tape. If you wanted a little bit more dimension, always use your foam tape. I'm going to be covering up that purple. Maybe if I move things down a bit, we can have a peek of it. I'm going to add foam tape to these, definitely, so they pop a little bit more. And even though I've popped that panel and I'm still going over it, I think it adds a little bit more interest that way. Okay. And my leaves. I'll just pop them in 3 separate places. I probably would have cut 2 more leaves and popped 2 over here and 2 down here. There we go. So you can see how you can really create a quick and easy background with those pencils as well. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. No. If you do want the woodless watercolor pencils, the best thing to do would be to sign for the back in stock. And I know that they should be coming in soon. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be good there. Yes, yeah, so they are unusual, but they're really pretty too. So they're the puppies. Okay, so there you go. We can also, I'm going to just do a quick watercolor one again, but I'm not going to use the pencils because I've just remembered they're not in stock. So I have my panel here. And I'm just going to grab my water, add some into that. And I'm using the Cherry Blossom. So I'm just going to add some of that to my cardstock. I think we need to go up a little bit more, or I need to figure out where I need to be. Okay, so I have that. And I'm going to add some water so we can kind of move that down. It's a really pretty pinky red color. Do want to add a little bit more into that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some fiery sunset in. Okay, maybe a bit too much fiery sunset, but we'll see how it goes. A bit more water. I don't want to mix it all in. Okay. So I've just splashed that around. It's onto the Ultinew watercolor, the one that's already cut down into sheets. It's my favorite one because I'm kind of lazy when it comes to that. So I'm just gonna try and quickly heat set this a little bit. If I'd have left this to dry naturally, it would have dried brighter, more vibrant. Those two pieces don't want to dry, so I'm just gonna take them off. There we go. Okay. So I have my piece, and I just want to cut one of these flowers. So I'm gonna go for the smaller one because it takes less. I maybe should have done a bigger bit, but we should be okay. Maybe we just do... Trying my best to fit all these pieces on. There we go. And I think, oh, does this one go with this one? There we go. So, I told you my hair is getting everywhere. Sorry everyone, I am molting. Don't think this is gonna fit through my mini blossom. I will need to do a bit of a trimmage. Okay, see if we can get it down to 3 inches. I would have done it on my larger one, but don't know. That's all the way across the room. Okay, I think we might be good. I might need to put it through twice. Let's pop that on. At the top, maybe. If not, I can just trim those little edges that are sticking out. We should be okay though. Okay. So we have a really pretty watercolored piece that you could have used as a background. You definitely could have. And we just have that antler piece there that does not want to pop out. I'll have to get my little pin. Okay. I'll stick these together now. And you can do exactly the same with the leaves. You just slop some green colours around. And that'll be perfect. I'm really loving this colour combo. The watercolour just looks so natural. And I did, in fact, use the wrong petal. I think this is supposed to be the single one, but I used the double one, so you can see that you can mix and match them if you wished to. I'm just going to grab my little fine liner. To add in the little stamen pieces. Kind of on that dark, and there we go. So if you didn't want to use the center as well, CC, it was cherry blossom and a touch of the fiery sunset. So this like really light orange color. So it's that one there. I always find that pinks and oranges really do work well together. Okay, so there's the one that we did with the watercolor. This is the one that I did to start with. So this is the one I did before I was live. So you can see that I just went with what it said to do on the layering guide. This one we added a little bit more depth and definition using some colored pencils, and then you can also just use your watercolors to create your own pattern paper. You don't necessarily need colored cardstock to do this. You can definitely just use white cardstock. You could also ink blend onto your cardstock as well. So I'm going to move you guys up now, and then I will check through the comments to make sure that I haven't missed anything. Hopefully not. Hopefully. So I'm just checking I'm not being rude. Hopefully you don't think I'm being rude. Okay. So yes, I think I have everything. I did get the description wrong on the intro bit, so I will be changing that. It's the crafter flower poppy and not the painter flower poppy. So hopefully everyone has had a good day today and everything is good and that you've enjoyed it. So hopefully that you are good, and thank you for so much for joining us. And thank you to the lovely Kathleen for being behind the badge and popping in all of the links and answering any questions that I may have missed. So again, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye.